Who is Kazimir Malevich?
Kazimir Malevich was a Russian avant-garde artist whose work pioneered and influenced non-objective or abstract artwork. He was also a huge part of the suprematism movement. His most famous pieces were White on White, Black Square, and The Woodcutter.
Where was he born and when did he pass?
He was born in the Republic of Kiev by his Polish parents in February of 1879. Later in life, he died in March 1935 in Leningrad, Russia.
Where did he study?
Kazimir Malevich went to Kiev Drawing School first from 1895 to 1896. Later in life, he attended the Moscow School of Painting, Sculpture, and Architecture Educational Institution from 1904 to 1910.
Who was his biggest influence?
He had a lot of influences growing up, but his biggest influence was probably Pablo Picasso.
What are some styles that he worked with?
Malevich, again, performed in many styles, but some of the most famous were Impressionism, Symbolism, Fauvism, Cubism, but he was most known for his work in Supremacism, so much he even coined that term.
What is the supremacist movement?
The supremacist movement is an early 20th century art movement focused on the fundamentals of geometry using lack of color, and the term supremacism refers to an abstract art based on the supremacy of pure artistic feeling rather than a visual depiction of objects.
How does his art relate to this movement?
White on White is a very simplistic piece where he painted a white square onto a white canvas at a slight angle. This is one of the most famous pieces from the supremacist movement because it is very geometrical, being two squares. It also uses a very limited range of colors as the artist only uses different shades of white. You can also see the brushstrokes, and there isn't a main object relating to its simplisticness of the painting. This painting also doesn't have a reference to external reality. The Black Square was another simple piece painted by Kazimir Malevich. The creation of the Black Square started in 1912 when Malevich painted the first copy. This painting was just a plain black square on a white canvas. Just like White on White, this piece was one of the more famous or notable in the supremacist movement. Along with White on White, this one was just another square on a white canvas being very geometrical. It also uses a lack of color as the artist only uses black. This painting was so sought after that it later sold at auction for $60 million.
What is your favorite painting from this artist?
My favorite painting featured behind me is The Woodcutter. At first glance, you just see a man holding an axe, but when you dig deeper, it's more than that. It ultimately is just a variety of different shapes and colors, such as circles and triangles. Unlike Black Square and White on White, this painting uses more than one color, such as red, yellow, orange, white, and black.
Why did you choose this artist?
I chose this artist because there was plenty of artists we went over in our class, but this was not one of them. After doing further research, it seems like that he was a big part of the supremacist movement, and I felt like I needed to bring more knowledge to him. That's